Hello, everyone, and welcome to League Review. I'm your host, William, and today we are going to be doing two podcasts. Should probably click that. There we go. So, yeah, we are going to do two podcasts today. We are going to do the LCK podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, this will just be one podcast in this one. But then immediately following this, we will be doing the NA podcast. Because we've been gone for a little bit the last few days. Been a little crazy with first being sick and then recovering from the sickness now, as you can tell. I'm hoping I sound a lot better. But, yeah, and then just recovering and everything. There's been a lot of news lately these last few days. And we're going to kind of break it all down. First, recap from last week. I'm also behind. I will tell you, I've gone 1-1 so far this week. I forgot the LCK was starting this week. I thought when they had initially canceled it, which we'll talk about right after this, that it was including this week. So I thought I was okay with delaying this podcast. We lost the first game last week of Sandbox losing to KT. Disgrace. Sandbox is dead to me. T1 beat Griffin. That was understandable. Gen G beat Freaka Freaks. Damn1 beat Humble Life. Dragonair beat APK. T1 beat Sandbox. KT ended up beating Humble Life, which I should put the X on the proper side there. I picked Humble Life there, which was... Oh boy, Humble Life. I'm going to talk about them in a minute. Especially because it got worse. More so than this podcast was supposed to be. But Damwon lost to Freaka Freaks. Damwon just cannot get together this year. I don't know what is wrong with them. Gen G beat APK and Dragon X beat Griffin. So the LCK kind of looks like... our standings in the LCK kind of look like this. That's not it. There we go. I scrolled down a little too far there. But we are currently... move that up a little. And we are currently 27-13. We are one game under 70% pick rate for the year. And I'm probably not going to make it because we're already only 1-1 and there's only a few games at the moment this week before it's postponed. But let's kind of talk about it a little bit here. We have here, let me pull this up and this up. And boop. Block those random ads, even though it's just like a Call of Duty ad or something. We're going to block them with our notes, like always. So the current standings are Gen G at 7-1, T1 at 7-1, Dragon X at 7-2, Afrika at 5-3, Damwon at 4-5, KT at 3-5, Humble Life at 3-6, Sandbox Gaming at 2-6, Griffin at 2-6, and APK at 2-7. We only have 4 more games this week. There was only going to be 6, and now from that point on, they are going to be postponed. We'll conclude it on March 6th, right here, from the coronavirus. So we finally are getting the LPL back this week, upcoming week, and we're losing the LCK for it, which is very depressing. You really wish that we could have all the league. The leagues are kind of like my stream this year. Just kind of jank. Like, we fixed it with, like, updating it and everything, but the scheduling for stuff has been miserable. Because, like, the best way I can put it, like, I think I've mentioned this before, is I kind of got a tiny bit of a life, which sounds kind of, like, weird, but, like, I've been hanging out with people and stuff, and it's been, like, a lot different than me just watching games every single day and then doing podcasts like that. So that's why we've had a few delays and getting sick on top of that and just a bunch of other variety situations that have occurred. Like, it's been a mess all the way around. But I think that so far in the LCK, we're going to end of Friday. That will be the halfway point of the split, and then we'll be suspended until further notice, which sucks. But so we're gonna, as of right now, I did predict that Dragon X would beat Damwon Gaming, and I did predict that Humble Life would beat DRX. I did predict Humble Life would beat APK. What is wrong with Humble Life right now? Not only did they just lose to APK, they lost to KT right before that, and Damwon before that. They're now on a 3-game losing streak after I bought in and believed them. They were 3-3, but they had a win against Griffin, a win against Sandbox, and a win against T1. And at the time, like, we knew Griffin was going to be meh, and we knew Sandbox was going to... When did Helm of Life win? When was that? That was... Helm of Life won against T1 on the first game of the year, and then they won against them, and then they won against Sandbox on the second week. So we didn't really know Sandbox was going to be as poor as they are, currently at 2-6, and we didn't realize that... Damwon and our Griffin was going to be as bad as they are. They're also at 2-6. So we maybe overrated them a little bit here when I put them to the fourth best team in LCK, because since then they've just lost every series, and they haven't been good series to lose. Like we said, they lost to KT and APK. But let's talk about KT. Their savior, Ray, man. Ray's come onto this team and completely changed the team dynamic around. I don't know why they were just keeping him on the bench for this long, if it was going to be this dramatic of a change. But they're on a 3-series winning streak after starting this season 0-5 in just completely embarrassing fashion, even losing to APK. They're really stepping it up, and they've actually have themselves only a game out of making the playoffs at the moment. It is insane. I never would have expected that from from Ray or from KT. It is not Ray at all. What do you mean it's not Ray? Even a small change can make the biggest difference. Like here, let's go to the Helm of Life series real quick. And an application there. Ray got subbed out. Oh my god, man. So I've been watching the highlight videos, and I could have swore Ray was wasn't Ray in the game against Sandbox and stuff, like when they started the winning streak. And apparently the league site is down, so we are not doing match history. Yeah, I've been watching. It's been the worst, man. I'm not even joking. Like, when I say life, it doesn't just mean social interaction. That also means, work has picked up. So, I literally have only been able to watch highlight videos for LCK and even EU as well. I watch all NA still, but it's been, miserable. What am I supposed to do? I can't watch at work anymore. It's, very sad because I'm busy. They've been giving me, a promotion, and not really. It's one of those things where it's it's a situation where it's you get more work, but you don't get more money, but they like you more. You know what I mean? Oh, right. Only damn. Was that the Sandbox series, and then they just didn't play against Helm of Life and. Oh, my bad. I could have swore I saw Ray in those games, but I guess when I was watching all the highlights before on Monday, I must have just not seen that. And, the question for NA, Idol, we will save that. I'm doing the NA podcast right after this, because this is actually going to be a pretty brief one. And we're going to be doing the NA podcast right after this, because we've been gone for 2 days. And so... that one, there's going to be a lot... That one's going to be a lot of detail. A lot of conversation from stuff that has happened. A lot of spiciness. But with LCK, with the coronavirus coming in, we only have 4 games left. And we got... So, let's kind of just talk about these games in general. Gen G versus Sandbox is just... Man, I don't think They're... To this day, not a more disappointing team in all of the leagues for me than Sandbox Gaming. What has happened to this team? Damwon has been depressing as well at 4-5, but Sandbox at 2-6 just feels a lot worse to me. They lose everything, and this team they still have everything the same for the most part. They still have Summit, they still have On Fleek, I guess they've changed the they don't have. They haven't put Joker in as much. They've been obviously playing Gorilla, but they've lost their touch. Their touch. I think what's happened. Thank you. That's exactly what I was gonna say, Idol. Is that teams figured them out, And they brought last year in the summer split, they brought, along with Damwon, a very aggressive style of league that LCK was not used to. And LCK still plays a very slow style, to be fair, but they are now used to the fast style. And it's not like catching them by surprise anymore. They're not like, oh wow, who does it? Like, who plays this aggressively? Well, LPL does, which they've gotten used to. And now, like, you're seeing kind of like a little bit of a meta form. I'll be curious to see when LPL comes back if they like recounter the meta a little bit. But like it's kind of like the situation where they're going super aggressive and they're getting called out on every play. Like, all these teams are calling their bluff, they're beating their bluff, and then they're ending the game because Sandbox is only going to do the same thing over and over and over again. And if you just know how to beat that, you know, like, you have enough film on them, you're going to beat them. Ryan said Sandbox is like the stand-in for the entire LCK for me. So much talent and proven ability, but I'm left scratching my head and wondering if they are really just bad now. Yeah. It's very... Hi, Ryan, by the way. And it's just a very confusing scenario. Because I don't, like, I guess before this week, like, you could say Team Liquid, but, like, Team Liquid's kind of stepped it up a bit. Like, this team, I can't think of any team in LEC. None of the teams have super disappointed me. Maybe SO4, but, like, like, Sandbox has been just, like, I'm watching the games, and I'm watching, like, some and stuff, and like, it's not the same. They just don't look the same at all compared to what this team was so close to Worlds last year, in my opinion. Like, I really was rooting for Sandbox to make Worlds, and unfortunately they didn't. But I really thought they had, like, I was hoping for Damwon, Sandbox, and any other team. I think it was like I was thinking like Sandbox, Damwon, and T1 or Griffin. Like, those are like my like underdogs I was rooting for. CLG maybe? No, CLG cannot, because if they start with rock bottom expectation, well, they started with low expectations and just fell to rock bottom. Like, Sandbox, I expected like high expectations and they fell to rock bottom, or not as rock bottom as CLG, but CLG always gets a pass on like disappointing because you expect the disappointment. G2 because they aren't as dominant, but that's a stretch. Yeah. I wouldn't count out G2 until the playoffs. Like, G2 is much different even than Team Liquid. Like, I still think Team Liquid going to playoffs and stuff like that. I mentioned that 2 weeks ago. But G2 I still think is easily going to win Europe in the playoffs. I think they're more lackadaisical right now. But yeah, that's enough about Sandbox. Sandbox has just been... They've made me angry. But yeah. We have... So let's just go over predictions for right now for these next 4 games so we can get quickly into the NA podcast. And then we'll talk a little bit about the coronavirus again because apparently that's going to be a hot topic throughout this entire year. And then we're going to... After that, hey, Idol, thank you so much for the subscription. Again, I have not set it up since the last time you subscribed. That is my laziness right there. I am so sorry. But you get a thank you from me instead of from Beetle. Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate it. KT versus Griffin. I think that KT... They're looking pretty hot right now. I'll go to my power rankings since we're doing our predictions. I'll go to my power rankings real quick. I had to move. This is supposed to be... I didn't finish moving this. This was supposed to be number 6. I fought over that for a while, but I eventually agreed on it that they deserve number 6 right now, which stuns me. I had this team at dead last. like bottom of the barrel. Like, this team is not as bad as Jin, but they are still just a terrible team. And now they have moved all the way up to 6th place. Honestly, AP. This was obviously done before this week. These Dragon X versus Damwon and the APK versus Humble Life. It was done before those games. But yeah, Sandbox is all the way down at 8th. Griffin all the way down at 9th. And APK they subbed out their top laner, right? No. They're mid laner. The mid laner. I knew that they subbed out someone. And they played pretty good. They played really good today. This team is not Jin, if that makes sense. like this team is absolutely not Jin. They're not nearly as bad. They've won as many series. They've won more series than Jin did in the entire year. Yeah, it was mid. They just didn't cover. That's what it was. But so it's good to see. It was good to see. New topic is KT, the Koreans, CLG. CLG has been stepping it up lately. They definitely have. But are we going to... can we call it a step up if they're still losing? They are. They look better. They do look better. But hey, they beat TSM this week, and that's we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Oh, historically, oh yeah, KT absolutely reminds me of CLG historically. Oh yeah, we got T1 number 1, Genji number 2, Dragon X number 3, Afrika number 4. Moving on up, Afrika. I still like this team. I still like Mystic. Still like everything about them. Damwon moved up only simply because Hanwha Life fell type situation. They beat Hanwha Life. It wasn't really an impressive move up, but for the most part, the power rankings, Korea's nice right now. Korea doesn't have what I would call a very weird clump like NA does, where you're like, okay, who's this team? This team's better than this team, but this team's better than this team. So how do you power rank it? It's kind of weird and confusing. Korea, pretty much the exact. They got Genji and T1 on top. You got Dragon X right below them. The only teams that Dragon X can't beat are T1 and Genji. Then you got Afrika above everyone else there. And then you got Damwon and the clump really comes at that, where it's like Damwon and the rest are kind of like the bottom tier. But you got 4 very solid teams. For sure. Korea have more subs than most regions. Yeah, like seriously, we're gonna go look at. We'll go back to this so we can just zoom in on exactly what you're talking about. Right here. Look at Genji. Look at the entire team for Genji. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players on Genji. On SKT, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 players on T1. Like, just Dragon X, this many. Damwon is pretty light. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 players on Damwon, and that's on the low end. KT as well, they only have 7. Hanwha Life is at 7. Sandbox has 300. Griffin has a bunch, and APK has a bunch. Every team has so many players. They can make a new league with the amount of substitutes that they have. It's absurd. But all right, let's get into our predictions real quick. I actually just realized I didn't set up those power rankings for NA yet. Oops. Oopsies. But it's not the NA podcast is not going to be about the power ranking. We're going to have a lot of splicing, especially if Idol, you, and Ryan are here. Ooh, we're going to have some conversations. Genji over Sandbox. If Sandbox comes in and defeats Genji at this end, I will be stunned. It will be like, oh, there's the Sandbox that we've wanted to see for so long, and they're gone now for the LCK. But yeah, Sandbox is would have had a very rough week. Luckily, they were able to cut one of those games out with against T1 with the delay. But man, they were just because they were for sure going to fall to 2-8 on the year and pretty much kiss playoffs goodbye at that point with Damwon losing here, but then. Like, they would already be, 3 games out with only 3 weeks left. It's probably going to be very tough for them to make it back. T1 over Afrika. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be the last good game we see out of Korea. So this is going to be the one that I don't watch just the highlights, and I probably watch the full thing because I'm gonna miss watching T1 and Afrika. Like the top 4 teams in Korea are actually pretty decent to watch for the most part. Like the rest of the league. How in life, you never know what you're gonna get. It's a surprise, but it's not been a good surprise lately. It's been a bad surprise for the most part. And speaking of How in life, they're facing Damwon Gaming. I think Damwon Gaming ends the regular split at 5-5. Okay, for a team that I really expected to be the number 1 team in Korea, 5-5 is pretty disappointing after the first half. But that's still enough that they probably could they could still make it to the playoffs for sure and have a chance to make at least a little bit of a run. But they're really going to have to step up their game because they have Ghost now, but Nuclear and Barrel have been terrible. Showmaker, Nogri, and Kenya have been okay, but they have not been the MVP levels that we have them last split for sure. They've been just kind of disappointing overall. But yeah, with that, I think that will be it for... Well, before we continue, let's talk BDD real quick. BDD has been phenomenal on Gen G. I was a little hesitant about BDD personally because, I know he'd been good, but, he has been... I thought... known as a very good Zed player. Trivia. He's on KT, And maybe that just looked bad being on KT last year. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe just because of how bad KT looked, that BDD kind of just was a result, a product of, I don't know what I'm trying to go for, but it was just an unfortunate situation. He was on a bad team with KT, and I thought, cool, he's on Gen G, but, I didn't have as high hopes for, say, Chovy on Dragon X. I was way more excited for that than I was for BDD. BDD has been absolutely crazy good this year, especially with Clid as well, and, just having a ruler on the team as well. It's been awesome. Gen G has been pretty exciting to watch, personally. Which is rare, because Gen G is usually pretty boring to watch. But alright. We're going to wrap that up. Thank you guys for watching Korea. Don't know when Korea's coming back yet, obviously. It really sucks with the coronavirus outbreak. That, let's see, do we have a timeline here? February, March, both the LCK and CK will be suspended indefinitely after the end of the first round robin on March 6th due to an uptick of confirmed cases in South Korea. Championships have been reduced for LPL. I did not know that was the case. That just happened 2 days ago. That's interesting. But yeah, we will see. There's been a lot of stuff. They're played without a live audience in the LJL right now. There's so many things. I'm still unsure if we will even have MSI this year. There could be a situation where, because this virus is breaking out, guys, in America now and in EU. We could be having a scenario coming up within a month if this doesn't get better, where the LEC and the LCS is also going to start playing without a live audience, and then after that they're going to we'll see. We don't know until Riot gives us information. We have no clue, which really sucks for teams like C9 that are popping off this year, and or even Gen G going to MSI would be really nice. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Adal and Ryan, I will see you guys in 10-15 minutes where we start up the next podcast, which will be NA. So see you then.